Aileen Wuornos, a name that sends chills down the spine of many. Her story is one of tragedy, violence, and a descent into darkness that culminated in a series of brutal murders. Today, we delve into the life of this infamous female serial killer, exploring the factors that shaped her into the person she became. Born on February 29, 1956 in Rochester, Michigan, Aileen Carol Pittman's life was marred by tragedy from the very beginning. Her father, Leo Dale Pittman, was a schizophrenic who was convicted of child molestation and later committed suicide in prison. Aileen never met him. Her mother, Diane Wuornos, abandoned Aileen and her brother Keith when Aileen was just 4 years old, leaving them in the care of their maternal grandparents. Aileen's childhood was far from idyllic. Her grandfather was an alcoholic, and both he and her grandmother were allegedly abusive. At the tender age of 11, Aileen began engaging in sexual activities in school in exchange for cigarettes, drugs, and food. By 14, she was pregnant, allegedly as a result of being raped by a family friend. She gave birth to a son in 1971 who was immediately put up for adoption. These early experiences of abandonment, abuse, and exploitation laid the foundation for Aileen's troubled adult life. She dropped out of school at 15 and was soon kicked out of her grandparents' home. Left to fend for herself, Aileen turned to prostitution as a means of survival. Throughout her late teens and 20s, Aileen's life was a cycle of petty crimes, arrests, and brief stints in jail. She drifted from state to state, engaging in prostitution and developing a severe alcohol addiction. In 1976, she hitchhiked to Florida, where she would spend much of her adult life. It was in Florida that Aileen's life took another significant turn. In 1986, she met Tyria Moore at a gay bar in Daytona Beach. The two women began a romantic relationship, and for a time it seemed Aileen had found some stability. However, their relationship was tumultuous, marked by financial struggles and Aileen's continued work as a prostitute. The pivotal moment in Aileen's transformation from a troubled woman to a serial killer came on November 30, 1989. On that day, she killed her first victim, Richard Mallory, a 51-year-old electronics store owner. Aileen claimed she killed Mallory in self-defense after he violently raped her. This event seemed to trigger something in Aileen, setting off a killing spree that would last just over a year. Between December 1989 and November 1990, Aileen Wuornos killed at least 6 more men in Florida. Her victims were all middle-aged men who picked her up while she was working as a prostitute along Florida's highways. Unlike many female serial killers who typically use poison or other less direct methods, Aileen's modus operandi was direct and violent. She shot her victims multiple times at close range, robbed them, and often abandoned their bodies in wooded areas. Aileen's motivations for these killings remain a subject of debate. While she initially claimed all the murders were in self-defense, she later recanted this statement. Some experts suggest that her troubled past and years of abuse at the hands of men had cultivated a deep-seated rage that finally found its outlet in these violent acts. The law finally caught up with Aileen in January 1991. She was arrested on an outstanding warrant at a biker bar in Volusia County, Florida. Tyria Moore, who had left Aileen a few months earlier, agreed to cooperate with the police. She helped obtain a confession from Aileen by expressing concern that she might be implicated in the murders. Aileen's trial began in January 1992. Despite her claims of self-defense, she was found guilty of Richard Mallory's murder and sentenced to death. She later pleaded no contest to the murders of 5 other men, receiving additional death sentences for each. During her time on death row, Aileen's mental state appeared to deteriorate. She gave conflicting accounts of the murders and her motivations, at times claiming self-defense, at others admitting to cold-blooded killings for profit. Her case garnered significant media attention, inspiring books, films, and documentaries. On October 9, 2002, Aileen Wuornos was executed by lethal injection at the Florida State Prison. Her last words were, "I'd just like to say I'm sailing with the Rock, and I'll be back like Independence Day with Jesus June 6th. Like the movie, big mothership and all, I'll be back." Aileen Wuornos' life and crimes continue to fascinate and horrify in equal measure. Her story serves as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of childhood trauma, societal neglect, and the cyclical nature of violence. While her actions were undoubtedly monstrous, understanding the factors that shaped her into a killer provides valuable insights into the complex interplay between environment, experience, and human behavior.